Hi everyone, welcome back to Planet J Astrology, where you'll learn everything you need to know about the stars. Today's video is on our special Sun in the 7th house individuals. This video is going to talk about the good and the not so good traits about having this natal Sun placement, as it is important to consider both the good and the bad in astrology, right? The sun sign carries specific karmic lessons with it. Every sun sign placement has specific karmic lessons. So we're going to talk about what those are today when it comes to sun in the 7th house placements. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit if you fuck with it. And thank you guys so much for visiting if you made it this far. Now let's get started. Having your sun in the 7th house. Well, what do we love about individuals with their sun here? They are some of the most charming people you'll ever meet, right? They're very sociable people. They come off as very balanced, and that's because the 7th house is a Venus ruled house, right? So they bring that sensuality, that essence of harmony, that essence of understanding that the world involves you and the other, right? The 7th house introduces the other. So those with sun in the 7th house, they are very focused on living their life kind of through other people. And what I mean by that is it's very important with individuals with their sun here to be kind. They're very accommodating people. They try to be very polite and use their manners because that's what is very important to them. That's what sun in the 7th house individuals value. They value people who are balanced, who are kind, right? And who have a duality to them. Sun in the 7th house individuals are really great people to have in your corner because they're extremely understanding. You can tell them just about anything, and even if they haven't experienced it exactly, whatever you experience exactly, they'll find some way to understand you, to relate to you, and to make you feel like you're not alone in whatever problem you have. So they're very kind individuals in that way. Right? And it's because they're extremely interested in understanding the nature of humans, their emotions. They're really interested. This is also a placement of a lot of individuals who have gone into law field, some, depending on the other placements in the chart, this could go even deeper into maybe being interested in psychology. But the difference between sun in the 7th house individuals and maybe sun in the 8th house, right, is that sun in the 7th house individuals understand that to understand other people, they have to interact with them. Right? To understand other people, I have to go around them. I have to share myself with them, right? So Libras are our sun in the 7th house. This is a Libra house individuals. They are very, very cool people. They try to come off as very cool, kind of like that cool chameleon sort of energy, right? And this can be in everything. This can be in their style, right? They might have one day where they dress very proper and another day where they just dress, kind of like lazy because they believe in duality, right? But the interesting thing about sun in the 7th house individuals is that when they are around difficult people or around conflict, then their life can start to resemble just that. So that segues us into the next part about sun in the 7th house individuals that involves this karmic lesson, right? Sun in the 7th house individuals, being the natives with this placement, they are in charge of that karmic lesson of teaching us what it is to deal with someone other than ourselves, right? To deal with understanding and working with another person. So this is difficult, right? Because the 7th house is the house of the mirror. It's the house of how we project ourselves onto other people. It's the house that talks a lot about our personal perceptions. And so when people with this specific sun placement meet someone who is maybe not in the best place themselves, yet they care a lot about them, they can often find themselves in a position where that person may project their own insecurities, their own issues onto the sun and the 7th house person. And because they are so kind, right? Sometimes they can confuse their own self with what another person is projecting onto them, which can lead to a quite limiting self-identity, right? So it's really important for Sun in the 7th house individuals not only to maintain their own equilibrium, but the way to do that is by really making sure that the company they keep are people they actually want to be around. Sun in the 7th house individuals can be kind of passive in their life when it comes to other people sometimes. For example, if they get to a point where they're not feeling a friendship anymore or a relationship anymore, they can feel so dedicated to the people they care about that they just kind of stay in a situation that's not the best for them, right? So they can feel quite silenced. And at the same time, Sun in the 7th house individuals, because they are so great with people, because so many people find them so charming, intellectual, and, just attractive in general, they can attract a lot of haters, right? They can attract a lot of people that, like I said, project onto them. And if this happens very young in adolescence, it can lead them to getting to a point where, as an adult, they can have a very black and white view because people projected that view onto them. So they can get to a point where instead of being super understanding, if it goes too far, they can be someone who sees things very subjectively, who projects just as much as people projected onto them, right? In addition to this, because Sun in the 7th house individuals care so much, they oftentimes spread themselves way too thin. And so they can get this label as being kind of two-faced or flaky, right? Because let's say the Sun and 7th house individual makes plans with someone, but then another person that they forgot that they made plans with 2 weeks ago hits them up and says, hey, are we still on? The Sun in the 7th house individual will somehow try to do both, and or they'll try to choose one that logically makes more sense, but in reality, the logic is that you should just not spread yourself too thin, because what happens is somebody gets let down, right? Somebody doesn't get the part of you that you promised to them, right? And no one's entitled to your time, Sun in the 7th house individuals. But what will help you find that balance is by listening to yourself first, listening to yourself and asking yourself, do I really want to do this? That will be very beneficial to Sun in the 7th house individuals before they start anything. Do I actually want to do this, or am I doing this for someone else or something else? Am I doing this because this is what is expected of me? Am I doing this because this is what society says you're supposed to do to be kind to other people, right? These people can very easily put themselves in the position of being seen as a pushover because they care so much, right? But the 7th house can also be the house of enemies, right? But these are enemies right in your face. So having your Sun in the 7th house, the house of people, relationships, interactions with others, can be really great, right? Because you are such an understanding person. But it can also be very bittersweet because you are always going to be judged just as much as you judge other people to understand them. So Sun in the 7th house individuals, like I said, it's a very lovely placement, but those are the karmic lessons that they will have to try to get over in this lifetime. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And for everyone, don't forget to look at all of the links in the description box below. I'll also attach my tarot YouTube channel where you can find access to monthly and weekly readings on love, career, etc. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.